Okay, the main objective for this experiment is to determine the volume and density of ball bearing. Second is to determine the volume and density of glass block.
The theory of this experiment is the vernier caliper allows you to measure external thickness, internal diameters, and depth of holes to a maximum of 130 millimeters with a 0.05 millimeter approximation. The vernier caliper found in the laboratory incorporates a main scale and a sliding vernier scale which allows reading to the nearest 0.02 millimeter. To measure outer dimension of an object, the object is placed between the jaws, which are then moved together until they screw the object. The screw clamp may then be tightened to ensure that the reading does not change while the scale is being read. The first significant figures are read immediately to the left of the zero of the vernier scale, and the remaining digits are taken as the vernier scale division that lines up with any main scale division. The micrometer screw gauge is used to measure even smaller dimensions than the vernier calipers. The micrometers are in our laboratory have a pitch of 0.50 millimeters. Two full turns are required to close the jaws by 1.00 millimeter. The rotating thimble is subdivided into 50 equal divisions. The thimble passes through a frame that carries a millimeter scale graduated to 0.5 millimeters. The jaws can be adjusted by rotating the thimble using the small ratchet knob. This includes a friction cloth which prevents too much tension being applied. The thimble must be rotated through two revolutions to open the jaws, and the thimble is rotated using the wrench until the object is screwed.
So now I'm going to tell you the procedure of the micrometer screw gauge. Firstly, the zero error was determined. The diameter of the ball bearing was measured. Step 2 was repeated 3 times at different positions of the ball bearing. All data was recorded. The actual diameter reading was calculated and was took into consideration of the zero error obtained earlier. The weight of the ball bearing was determined. The density of the ball bearing was calculated.
Thank you. Tapi dalam ni yang ni kita bersih kan? Kena tukar tu. Maksudnya yang ni kita and then we measure this by reading on the upper side and look at this scale.
Next, I'm going to tell you the procedure of the vernier caliper. The whole number of the small division on the fixed part of the vernier caliper was counted to the left of the zero mark on the vernier. the first mark on the veneer that lined up with one of the marks on the fixed part of the veneer was found. The zero error of the veneer was determined. The length, width, and thickness of the glass block was measured. Step 2 was repeated 3 times at different positions of the glass block. All your data was recorded. The actual measurement was calculated by taking into consideration the zero error obtained. The weight of the glass block was determined. The density of the glass block was calculated.
So this is the result of our experiment. So for the first experiment, which is ball bearing, we got zero error, which is negative 0.03 mm.
Of ball
So
bearing.
the result for the second
Is to
experiment
determine the volume
for the
and
glass
density
block
of glass
is
block.
0 centimeter for the zero error.
As for discussion, the experiments show that the measurement can have different values after being repeated for 3 times. It is important to use the micrometer screw gauge and vernier caliper carefully and correctly to obtain accurate measurements. It is also important to take multiple measurements and calculate the average value to reduce the effect of measurement errors. A micrometer screw gauge is used to measure even smaller objects than the vernier caliper. It consists of a main scale and micrometer scale. The minimum scale is 0.01 mm and the maximum scale is 7.00 mm. Vernier caliper is used to measure the thickness, diameter, length, and depth of an object. It consists of a main scale and the vernier scale. The minimum reading is 0.1 cm and the maximum reading is 13 cm. The micrometer screw gauge is used to determine the volume and density of the ball bearing due to its size, which is smaller than the glass block. The vernier caliper is used to determine the volume and density of the glass block due to its size, which is bigger than ball bearing.
So, in conclusion, performance measurement plays an essential role in creating public value through effective strategic management. Goal of developing and improving performance measurement system involve philosophical and normative as well as scientific and cognitive issues.